T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. I'm your boy, MJ. What is good? Welcome to Trap Talk with MJ. This is your first time tapping in. If you're into reptiles, just now keeping reptiles, been keeping reptiles, looking to keep reptiles for a living, or just forever, all the above, you're in the right place. This is the right podcast to be at. I bring only the sickest up-and-comers, the ones who are up and coming, the ones coming. Wow, that sounds weird. All that shit to this channel. So if you want to learn all about reptiles, if you want to just keep spiffing up the game, because none of us are experts, maybe a couple, but fuck it, man. You're at the right place. I'm all about reptiles myself. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast I drop here on this channel. Drop at least 3 every week, sometimes 4, depends. But yeah, man, thank you so much for all my reoccurring viewers. Appreciate all the early birds in the building. I see you guys there right now. If you're looking to support this channel more than a like, more than a subscription, a couple ways you could go about that. I want to say first and foremost, shout out to my Patreon members, my heart, my trappers. If you want to get exclusive content, if you want to tap in behind the scenes of this podcast, if you just want to get more out of what you see here on this channel, best thing you can do is go down to the link below, join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Come fuck with us, man. We're growing. Over 110 trappers in the building. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get the link to the Discord, and that's when things really pop off. You get to see all the different channels that are 24/7 popping. My trappers don't sleep. We're always on fucking just trying to just gain knowledge, and we're always going back and forth in that Discord. So lots to gain when you join the Patreon family, okay? So I got to say, first and foremost, thank you, my Patreon members. I go hard for you guys, and I really bring that exclusive shit to the channel. Patreon channels, I meant. So yeah, join the Patreon today. Appreciate all the love and support. Also, don't be shy with the super chats, man. Super chats, that little, see if you're in the live chats, like all you early birds, hit that super chat button, man. Let's get the super chats up and cracking from my boy Lenny. Show some support. Got a question for the homie Lenny? Throw a super chat, and I will make sure I will put it here on the big screen. Okay. So, and then other than that, guys, did you know I have a other YouTube channel other than this podcast? I have a vlogging channel. Go to the Snake Trap Session vlogs on YouTube. I will put out weekly vlogs on that channel. I'm already doing that. I go to a lot of people's places. As you guys see here, I do remote podcasts once a month. Okay, so I pick somebody sick as fuck who I really want to go visit. Not only do I go do a show at their facility or their house, wherever we got to do it at, but I get a sick ass vlog of their fucking facilities and shit. So that's, you could catch all those amazing vlogs at the Snake Trap Sessions vlogs YouTube channel. And then if you want to definitely be on top of past guests that I've had on, maybe you missed something, well, then you want to definitely go and subscribe to Trap Talk with MJ clips. Okay. So I have all past episodes where I have the best clips out of those episodes being put out on that channel as well every week. So those are just other things that you could go check out. Appreciate all the love and support. I will say the Snake Trap Session Vlogs YouTube channel is almost at 1,000 subscribers. I started that shit 2 months ago. Thank you so much. Let's get those subscribers up and cracking. And yeah, I'm looking forward to putting out more content. I just invested in some shit. I don't want to say too much. My Patreon members will know. But I just invested in some shit that's going to take everything to the next level. And I cannot wait to get it on and cracking. So first and foremost, I want to say any love and support I get, thank you. Because I'm going to keep this shit going to the fullest. But who is here? What is going on? Wait, time out. Before we get into the early birds, before I say hi to the early birds, I want to say this episode is brought to you by yet another new sponsor. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep adding new sponsors, but these are new sponsors going into 2023. Things are changing a little bit, but I want to already fucking represent him now. He's already supporting me now, so I got to represent him now. He's definitely somebody who's really not out there yet, but if you're in the game, ballpython game, you know who the fuck this guy is. That's for damn sure, because he ain't playing. I want to say thank you so much to my homie JT over at he pulled up in at TOFAUTI. Sorry, like Bugatti. Never mind. Yes, TOFAUTI Royals of Africa, man. This guy has crazy projects cracking off. Please go check them out on Instagram. And yeah, you're looking at my 2023 sponsor. And, you know, towards the end of 2022. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, dog. TJ's the homie, man. I'm just looking forward to working with you, and just be ready, because this guy right here is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And if you already follow him on Instagram, you already know what the fuck I'm talking about. But again, thank you, sir. I appreciate your love and support, and that is the sponsor of today's episode. Who is here in the building? Early birds, what is good? I want to know who's fucking ready for this episode. The homie Lenny's going to bring some heat. The homie Jay, Barber Jay in the building. What's up, player? About to see you in a month. Thank you so much. Trap Talk Patreon member. Trap Talk, he's Team Zoo Dreams. This is my boy. He's like family. My boy, Barber J. I miss you, man. I can't wait to see you soon. Deviant Class, what is good? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Julio Fulio, Trap Talk Patreon member. Check this out. My Patreon member, right? He picked up a snake. I have a surprise for him. And that's all I got to say. Julio, be ready. I got a surprise coming to you, okay? I'm not going to tell you anything else, but this is your heads up right now. You got a surprise coming to you this week. Well, I'm sending it tomorrow, so you'll have it the next day after that. I love my Patreon members. Be ready, Julio Fulio. It's coming. Josh, Scale Fins and Feathers, what is good? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Runyon, Reptiles, what is good? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Uniquely Muted Morphs, what is good? Spectro 7, what is good? Heathen Hatchery, Trap Talk Patreon member. I'm already getting sorry. Heathen Hatchery, Trap Talk Patreon member. Brian Bodie. Did I say that right? Bodie. What a guy, man. He had a great pre-party at his house Friday in Vegas. And this was, crashed by a big black dude by the name of Antoine. He came in drunk and just kind of like stumbled his way into the group picture towards the end. But hey, we had a good time either way. Sorry about my friend Antoine. Whew, what a night. But hey, Brian, thank you so much. Please go give this guy a follow. He's working with some shit. He's been around for a while too. So definitely go check out what he has going on. Appreciate your support, Brian, and definitely having all of us over. That was a good time. Calvin Garcia, what is up, player? Thanks for being here, man. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Calvin Garcia, Trap Talk Security. That's my boy. Bods Exotics. So homie Jeremy, what is up? Thanks for tapping in. Wise Guys, Reptiles, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Sunshine State Exotics, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. 843 Exotics, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Ricky Bobby SRT, Trap Talk Patreon member. What is good? Thanks for tapping in, player. Trademan Exotics, Trap Talk Patreon member. Damn, got all the trappers in the building. I love it. Eric's More Factory. What is up? Clown Scientist Gage. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. Polymorph Pythons. What is good? Thanks for tapping in. Let's see who else is here. Damn, Big Mike. The homie Big Mike in the building. 1776 Exotics. It's the homie right there. Trap Talk Patreon member. OG, triple OG. According to Mike, and I gotta look into the records. He is the number one, or my very first Patreon member. He apparently, I let people know I had a Patreon page, and he said he kept checking it and nobody was joining. According to him, thanks for letting me know. But anyways, he joined the Patreon. One of my first Patreon member. I'm just gonna call him the OG, triple OG Patreon member, Big Mike, 1776 Exotics. And he could hella fucking get you some lobsters, that's for sure. Thanks for your support. House of Hiss, Trap Talk Patreon member, what is good? Jaffe Exotics, Canada in the building. Very player. What is up, Jaffe? Thanks for tapping in. PCF Funny Royals, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Brandon Hernandez, Trap Talk Patreon member. What is up, player? Thanks for tapping in. These nuts. What is up, Dylan? Thanks for tapping in. Lucas, another fresh, sick-ass, super dwarf retic breeder. Lucas Bagnara. Nagar. Did I say that right, bro? God damn it. Anyways, Trap Talk Patreon member. He also started a podcast. Got to give me the name of that podcast, bro. I want to start talking about it here and then. But let's go check him out. Check him out on Instagram. It's my boy. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon family. Appreciate that, Lucas. Look who it is. Little Miss Lily. Well, she's not little, but Lily. Patreon family all day, every day. She's actually getting some heat this week as well. Super excited for Hydrovision. What is up, Hydrovision? Hella, stay lit. What is up, Joe DeStefano? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Troy Schroeder. What up, Troy? What a guy. Had a good time with Troy this weekend. That table was legit. I'm telling you, if you went to the Las Vegas Reptile Super Show and you saw Troy and all the homies table, took eight tables basically combined. That was a time. That's how you do shit. I feel like if I want to have something like that, I got to be all with the homies. It's just make things much more fun. All right, man. I'm sorry. Let's get these things rolling here. Scales to the tails, wags. What is good? Will's hella heat. What is good? Pat Wilson. What is good? Look at this. Super chat. right off the bat, support the big man. Thank you so much. $20 in the building. I appreciate that super chat. And then we're going to end this shit in hella player style because I just found out my boy is 18 after August. My homie Lucas, you know it's coming, Lucas. Don't be nervous, motherfucker. We're going to schedule that trap talk and it's going to go down. Hella go down. My homie Lucas, go give him a follow. Cobra Keeper Jr. Let's get shit cracking. Listen, I got to tell you, I'm excited. I ran into this guy, Lenny. I think it was at Bar Checks. Must have been Bar Checks. Because I remember seeing him, and he just has a sense of humor that I like. You know, there's some people I just vibe with just with their sense of humor, you know, straight up. And, you know, that's just them being themselves. I have a funny sense of humor, I think. But anyways, that made me tap into his projects. And then I'm not going to lie, like, I'm not that I wasn't interested in what he was doing when we first met, but what he's putting out now is definitely getting my attention. And then also to kind of make things correct, he's been around for a minute as far as breeding, you know, keeping all that good stuff. So not really your, you know, typical new breeder on the block, but hey, to not a lot of new faces, new breeder on the block. So without further ado, it's going to go down. Hope you guys are ready. Buckle the fuck up because my man is going to kill it. Let's go. Demonic Reptiles in the building. Gee.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
And we're live. Got Lenny Cristino, Demonic Reptiles in the building. What is up, Lenny?
What's up, man? How's it going, bro?
Good, man. How you living?
Good, man. Can't complain. Long day of work, but I'm good.
What's the 9 to 5? Let's get right into it. What do you do for a living?
So I do commercial pest control. When I first came down, he actually started doing wildlife removal. They got rid of that division, so I just got pushed into doing something that I don't want to do. So I just do it for the time being.
Okay. Damn. How long you been doing that for?
The pest control probably about a year, but the wildlife removal probably about 3 years. Yeah.
Damn. Wildlife removal.
Yeah.
That must be like you must see something different every day.
Oh yeah, man, it was great. It was like removing snakes, bats, raccoons, possums, foxes. It was cool.
Now, real quick, Lenny. I mean, I glimpsed at your bio and your Instagram, and you've been in the game for quite a while. You know, I don't know if it's on 20 plus years of being as a business keeper or just keeping, but I just kind of want to tap in as far as how long you've been fucking with these animals for, and you know, as far as like, you know, to where you took it serious, you know.
Yeah, so it's been about 20 years or maybe longer. I got into reptiles probably around 13, 14 years old, probably maybe younger than that, like graduation of like 5th grade, so whatever age that is. But I remember just wanting like an iguana. So I told my mom I wanted an iguana for graduation, and we went to a pet store, got an iguana, and they just I really originally wanted a snake, but I settled for an iguana because my mom didn't want no snakes in the house. But they gave us glow in the dark sand, and there's a bunch of crap that that the iguana didn't need. It wound up dying, and then wound up just tell my mom, begging her to just get a snake, and pretty much that addiction started, and just went wild.
How old were you?
Probably 13, 14. Yeah.
Yeah. And where you at? Where you at on the East Coast, Lenny?
I'm in North Carolina right now. Yeah.
That's right, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And
I'm born in.
shit's rough right now in North Carolina, isn't it? Like with the animal laws and stuff. Like, didn't you guys get hit with something pretty heavy recently?
Some Tegu banned. Yeah, so I believe we can't keep black and whites right now. But yeah.
That was it though. It wasn't nothing else. I thought it was venomous and something else. I wasn't too sure if that was it's just Tegus.
I believe it's Tegus as of right now. It may be county, maybe some certain county may not be able to have the hots, but I'm not too sure.
With that being said, guys, please, if you're not a USARK member, please go support USARK. Shout out to Phil Goss. Not too sure what the numbers were as far as what was raised at the USARK auction at Vegas, but shout out to anyone who attended. And shout out to you if you support USARK. If you're not too sure what USARK is, please go to YouTube, type in USARK, subscribe to the USARK YouTube channel, man. Just be on top of it. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of the scary things, bro. You never know, like, when shit's just gonna come hit the fan in your area, you know what I mean? And with that being said, how do you feel about like the next step? Like, are you kind of like thinking I should get the fuck out of North Carolina, or are you just like gonna hunker down and do your thing? Like, I'm curious.
So I'm originally born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. So I kept everything. I kept everything illegally for years. For years, yeah. So I kept everything. I kept retics, alligators, berms, python.
I mean, like, no, don't do what he does. But I'm just saying, respect.
No, yeah. Don't do it. And I kept, everything. Not Nile monitors, Tegus, Savannah monitors. I kept everything. So I'm a little bit more happy of being here. That I can keep stuff without anyone bitching or complaining.
Right.
So I'm not too worried. I'm more worried about what's happening in Florida than actually North Carolina.
Fuck, bro. I just had the homie Daniel Lopez on, who's from Florida, and he just called it a sinky ship.
Yeah,
Which we all know that, but fuck, for him to say that, and he's in Florida, God bless, man. Like,
yeah, it's scary. If I was in Florida, I would get my ass out of Florida. That is me personally. I would hit the panic button and leave.
I could tell you right now, there's going to be people in Florida to where you would have to kill them for them to leave. They just
100%.
They're just Floridians, bro. Like,
yeah.
They just don't. They think to them, they think it's the best place on earth, and they, like, regardless what the laws are, what is happening, they govern themselves in a way down there. They don't give a fuck. Like, Florida people do not care. You're not going to stop them. It's going to get bad and ugly if that happens. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
Florida's nuts, bro.
No, it is.
All right. With that being said, what were some of the animals that you felt like really kind of grasped your experience? Like, meaning, like, really gave you the vision that this is something you wanted to do, not only as a teenager, but as an adult?
So my buddy of mine had a vinyl Burmese python, about 12 feet. And I was just obsessed with it. I would go to his house every day and just like stare at it, obsessed with it. And I just fell in love with it. So just took a turn of like, hey, I want snakes. I want to keep reptiles. And my mom at the time, she wouldn't let me keep anything. So I would just go to people's houses who had reptiles and just, check them out that way. And until she finally gave me the okay to actually keep reptiles.
Damn.
Yeah.
Epic. And, I got to ask you, man, obviously so much, no matter what the species is, you're going to fuck up, right? Trial and errors is part of what happens.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. And I'm serious. I'm curious of, like, what was it that really made you realize that, shit can't go south? I mean, how far into keeping did you kind of start fucking up, basically?
Well, thankfully, I don't feel like I ever fucked up with anything, honestly. Knock on wood. I don't think I ever really made a mistake. Well, I guess it was one mistake. I bought a pinstripe ball python from LLL Reptiles, and it came in with mites. So I sprayed the snake, put it back in the container. I guess the fume's still within that container, and I wound up killing the snake. So that was one fuck up. Yeah.
But see here, but that's not one fuck up because you got the snake with mites. So here's the thing: there's, and bless your heart, bro, because in your mind you're like, well, I haven't fucked up hardly ever. But everyone has that one fuck up because it wouldn't make you so G at what you do. Like, you have to fuck up to understand where, like, if you don't know how to fix that fuck up, it's gonna keep coming and it's never 100%. Gonna stop. The biggest one is mites, and I feel like people they don't underestimate, but there's people who just want to keep collecting animals and they just don't know how to take care of mites. Like they're lazy about it. And that's I don't know how many people that I have Nido conversations with and they say, fuck Nido, mites is what that's the true killer, because you got to understand they travel from one snake to the other. You know what I mean? And that's just how, so that is a concern, and it's not really a lot of people's fault for the most part, because they do get all in love with these imports. And a lot of times these imports are just coming in with mites. But the thing is, they don't know how to control that one snake and they keep adding more snakes. So
that's what it is.
Everything keeps getting more mites. And it's like, dude, fuck. So we're people need to stop and just relax and slow down and know that certain fuck ups, and this is why you said I don't hardly have any fuck ups. You should never repeat fuck ups. If you're always repeating the same mistake, you're not grasping on what needs to be done.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But it's
not
a bad thing to make
true.
Mistakes either. I don't want to say, MJ said you can't make mistakes. No, you have to make mistakes. You just can't repeat them. Don't cook your rack more than once, or don't fucking, you can't do that. I did that by accident for a long time, and I was like, oh my god, they're cooking that hot, and and you can just tell by a snake's behavior. You're pissed off and just you're like, whoa, what's wrong? So it's I don't know. I only preach what I went through, and I just know I went too fast, Lenny, and I almost I did some things where even though I loved them, it was almost considered neglect because how quick I was going, and you just need to chill. You know what I mean? So
yeah, going too fast can definitely get you hurt quick. With the animals, and especially it can hurt really easy. I think what saved my ass in the beginning was that I can only buy what I can afford. So I didn't have a job at the time. I was just I was young, so any type of chores or allowance or birthday money, I would buy snakes. I would only be able to get one at a time for about a year. So I couldn't buy a whole crap load of animals. I think if I did it when I was older and had a job and just bought a crap load of animals, right, I think that's where I would run into a problem really quick.
Yeah. So if you could kind of break down, Lenny, because from what I understand, ball pythons is the foundation for you, correct? Is that all you work with, or no?
No, so I work with Wama pythons and golden pythons, retics, and that should be it. Yeah. So
let's talk about what was it that you were dabbling in adulthood? When you kind of was out of mom's house and you doing your own thing and in your 9 to 5. What was it that you were really? What species were you first stacking?
It was ball pythons. I started breeding ball pythons, living with my parents, out of a closet. So yeah, I started just like that. Probably a little shoe rack from the garbage. I want to bring it upstairs, buying heat tape and turning it into a four slot hatching rack, and started that way. So pretty much ball python's always been my bread and butter.
It's crazy.
As breeding, always been my bread and butter.
Right. That's why it's almost difficult for me nowadays to just hear someone try to shit on ball pythons, because where the fuck would you be, motherfucker, without ball pythons? It's relax, but I will say a lot of the people that I used to get shit from about ball pythons, which was 2017, 2018, now they're all on my bumper. They want to ask me, hey, what do you have available, or what should I get into? And by the way, I fucking hate that question. I really do. If you're my boy, trust me, if you're my homie, then of course I would love to talk to you about it. But a random person, and they're like, hey, so what would you recommend I get? Or and it's I don't know you, motherfucker. I don't know what you like. I don't know what your favorite colors are. There's so many different options, and it's it'd be one thing if it's hey, dude, I got DG and clown. What would you do next? I'd be okay, well, all right, there's some cool foundations that you got. But when you're asking me what you should start with, have you even looked? What
exactly?
Yeah. God damn it.
It's like going to a restaurant and be hey, what are you gonna eat? I'm gonna eat what you want to eat. It's how do you know what I like? Are you gonna eat what I'm gonna eat? So it's kind of it's gonna be always different. It's always everyone has different tastes. So yeah.
And this dude, this even said, check this out, bro. I'm not trying to say I'm the number one food lover, but I order food where I turn heads, bro. I order I'm an off menu type of guy. I'm just very extra, but I take that shit to heart. I love food that much. I get creative in my, you know what I mean? And that's just what I do. And it's kind of this is why I love the snake game, because there's so many different avenues. Like even with chondros, even with SD retics, dwarf retics, any species you think about it, bro, you pick your road. It's like whatever you want to do, you know.
That's why.
Yeah, what's that? What does it say? Pick
It's
your own road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Justin. Yep. There you go, man.
I fucking love it. But like that's it. Some people don't realize they have to be that person until they really get into it and they realize like, oh, I'm just a part of the rat race. You don't want to be a part of the rat race. Like get out of that. You know what I'm saying?
So people they want to stay on the road, but they don't want to take the exit off and go their own way. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Well, because people want to have their first season to where they're already getting recognized. And it's like,
100%.
dude, like, bro, like, you know, it's like, oh, I've already been here for 2 years and like, oh man, my first clutch and like, you know, fuck. And it's just like, dude, like, it's like, why do you want so much? Like, it's kind of like, do you understand, like, if you're doing things right, how important this first clutch or this first year is for you in the second year? Because that's going to make year 4 and 5 just fucking spectacular.
100%.
And like, bro, I mean, I don't understand, like, I don't know. I haven't posted any 20, 30K fucking ball python ever, you know, and I mean, that God bless them, but it's whatever, dude. Fuck off. Like,
yeah.
You're not the only one. Like, it's like, okay, you get to that goal, but like a real motherfucker producing 30, 40K snakes is not just sitting there like, well, I did it. No, it's not. It's constant. It's like a fucking goddamn never satisfying game.
Never.
That could be a double-edged sword. You got to know how to fucking just do what you got to do, like what you want to do and what you got to do. It's funny because I was with Jeremy from Brassman Reptiles, and we like, I love Jeremy, bro. What a guy.
So he actually lives with me. So I was cutting.
Jeremy lives with you?
Yeah. So
what?
I was cutting a clutch of dreamsicles and cutting a clutch of the pewter clown cinnamons, the pastel pewter clowns. Okay. So I was hitting that. We were cutting that, and we were looking at each other like, damn, man, like 10 years ago, would we be even here doing this? So it's kind of like just really reminiscing and being like, hey, like the point that we came is like really far. And like, with sex and everything, like, damn, a male. And I'm getting upset to hit a world first male wanting to be a female. So it's kind of like you're humble, but you're also like a little bit cocky about it. Like, shit, I wanted the female, you know? Yeah, like you're never happy. Like you said, you're never happy.
Right. I mean, but that's kind of because at the end of the day, it's like, all right, what's next? It's always what's
exactly.
And you know, I remember one thing. I asked Justin this the first time I talked to him, and then the second time when we became we were more friends. He just kind of told me, you know, like, hey, you know, when I asked him, Justin, what's your favorite morph? He just says the next morph. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, what he's not like. He can't really pick what his favorite is right now until the next one comes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think also too, when a lot of people, I say this a lot, but when a lot of new people come into this game and they see people like Kabelka, Ozzy, and people who they don't understand how long they've been doing shit for, and like honestly, like how long, like you know, Justin was a nobody for a long time.
Yeah,
like just a kid with glasses, fucking walking around. Like you know, Barczyk tells me stories. I just hear so many stories about young Kabelka just by himself at shows. You know, like what do you think he was doing, taking notes? Like, dude,
exactly,
like, motherfucker, like he's like he's a Tiger Woods of this shit, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Without a doubt, you know,
he's untouchable.
Yeah, he's untouchable. Yeah,
and I know that. And I know how much that pisses a lot of people off because you understand there's this other people who are in the same realm. I don't want to say in the same fucking spaceship as Kabelka, but they're up there. Like you understand, like there are other motherfuckers that are just god damn, like Will Moros. Okay, like let's talk about Will Moros. I love that I could really back up how I feel about Will because after I saw his collection and just saw just having 2 recessives, what that's going to do to certain snakes, right?
Yeah.
We're talking 2 powerful recessives going into 3, 4 recessives. Like, holy shit, it gives me anxiety, bro. But I don't even think the current hobby is ready for all that shit right now. I feel like that's why Will doesn't put it all out there. He's very, very, very particular on what he puts out there. You know what I mean? And god damn, I'm just saying, like, as much as I like to fucking gloat Justin Kabelka, that he's not the only one carrying 100%. His hobby. I can tell you right now. I just feel like I give Justin the most respect because we're talking early 2000s when he was like a kid, like 19 years old. And that's what I respect, like having to go through that, and just, I don't know, man, it's just nuts. I have true facts to believe why I respect Justin so much, and I stick to it. I don't care what no one else has to say. It is what it is.
Yeah, he put the work in. You put the work in. It shows for itself what what he accomplished. You just killing it. He had the vision. He had the eye set of what because everyone has access to these genes. The genes aren't just hiding, and you gotta go find them somewhere. Everyone has access. Is what you do with them. Like everyone's like, oh, it's easy to breed ball pythons, 100%. But is it easy to make cool shit? No.
So like even like if you're a part of Justin's Patreon and you're tapped in, then you'll see him talking about shit that nobody knew that he had. Like everyone. I mean, people know that he's been sitting on zebra stuff and white lace stuff, but bro, like he's been on top of projects like this. Like let's just say, for instance, Red Stripe. Like Red Stripe he made Red Stripe relevant again. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of many genes that's coming off the top of my head. There's so many genes where that's the only one that I could really, really think of that he makes relevant. But he's not the only one. You could be sitting on a gene that nobody really gives two shits about until you put it in the right combo. You know what I'm saying? But it happens when you buy snakes like that from like Levance and like fucking the motherfuckers putting the futuristic shit out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just there's so many names out there I will say right now that
without a doubt, yeah.
Killing it.
There's so many people killing it nowadays. It's crazy. It's crazy. You just don't have the Ralph Davis, the Brian, or Kevin. You don't just have the top three guys. Everyone's on not the same level, but very close to the same level.
So no disrespect to those guys, the pioneers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were never on the same level as like constant designer shit as these current guys. Because
it was all about stacking.
No, they were mass, and they were mass production. They do as many clutches as you can get, stack as many codoms. But it wasn't the fucking kind of financial shit that's happening right now.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, this shit's changing lives. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if we would have kept that trend, if people like Justin and other people who just kept push the recessives to what they are today, if they would have never done that, and we would keep pushing, I feel like this, if we would keep pushing these codoms and stacking everything, I think the market would be dead, and the industry with ball pythons definitely wouldn't be what it is today at all. Not even close.
Right.
If everyone followed the same path, it wouldn't be where it is today at all.
And if we could kind of take things back when you first started, obviously it was pre-social media, right? I have to assume it was before all this shit, Patreon page, YouTube, and all that.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
So what was your go-to research back then? Like, how are you really plugging up on information? What did you have back then? I'm curious.
Library. Just go to the library. Just Wikipedia or whatever the hell, AOL, whatever the hell.
AOL.
Whatever it was. I remember me and my cousin, we were really obsessed with the snakes and everything. And I remember him just printing out papers at the library in school and bringing it over, and we just read these like random pages of ball python. Even it was ball python. That's what we were looking at. Just random pages of like pods and het pod and this and that. It was just like really just fascinating with the whole situation. Yeah, man. It was his library.
And I can never stop thinking about how much just a pied changed my life. Like looking at a pied, right? And then even a banana, you know what I mean? Like just a banana. I remember Killer Bee. Or Killer Bee was like, I never was like, what the fuck? Like I swear to God, man, if I would be so hardcore into Killer Bee if they didn't have that damn fucking that wobble thing, and which I remember back when I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. I had a lot of Killer Bee and Bumblebee shit. And I remember as I was seeing these YouTube shits coming out and people fucking talking about it, I would go into my room and they would all be doing it like if they were fucking possessed, bro. Like it was like I remember I saw it one time where like 7 were doing it at once, and I got so creeped out. I was like, fuck this shit. I was like, because it's like, dude, for hours, like you're still there, like
it's going, yeah.
It's like a fucking broken toy. It's like, god damn. So me personally, like, I'm not saying you can't keep something like that alive, but like, why would you? Like, why would you not? I mean, not why would you? Why would you want to like keep that like that kind of legacy going? Like, if you could get out of it, get the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I have a buddy of mine. His name's Thomas. So he's obsessed with spiders. Just obsessed with the whole idea of like it's easy to because he has a little bit of issue picking out yellow belly and like subtle mutation like vanilla and stuff. So he likes to stick with stuff that he can visually see. And I just keep telling him, hey man, get the spider out of the collection. Just get it out of the collection. I personally have no problem with it. But every show I do, they just sit there. From everyone's table, they sit there. No one's buying them. for the wobble reason or social media reason, just no one's really buying them. They make cool things. You could have bumblebee calicos, bumblebee, honeybees. You can do all that. It's really cool stuff. But just it kills stuff. Like if it looked great in pod and great in clown, we may be having a different conversation right now.
And then also remember, these are the snakes that only look as good after their first shed. After
100%.
that, they start to just kind of wash out. They contrast out, and that's like what we want to go away from.
Exactly.
That's why DG is making pastel, make any kind of black or whatever, fucking just like be bold. You know what I'm saying? So
without doubt,
yeah. So the whole code down, and that's another thing, man. Like people like Abelco, like here we go again, letting us know what the recessives are going to do to these codoms that aren't really doing well with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And and here's the thing: you can't just say fuck codoms because that's not going to help you either. You gotta
you need it. Yeah.
Got to have certain, and there are a lot of powerful codoms out there, especially nowadays after so many different combos are out. But you need to find the codoms that you like, and you need to make the super forms of those, and you need to put that shit in everything. Like that, and I'm talking about the codom you like better be a legit super form of it, and that's like that should be an easy, like, okay, like for instance, gravel, like like here's another thing, no disrespect, but anyone out there who's sitting there and says yellow belly everything, you're very amateur, okay? I don't think you know what the fuck you're talking about. Why the fuck would you want yellow belly everything? Like, no. You want ivories in every clutch? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it's like, and I feel like people get super, like, they look at their collection and they go, oh, this is what I have, and they try to hype it up. No, a lot of motherfuckers need to get real with themselves, okay? And if you out there have a friend that's saying yellow belly everything and that's all they have in their collection, you need to have a talk to them. Like, you really, if you care about them. But if not, if you're one of those homies that just want them to go down the shithole, then go ahead, don't say nothing. But god damn, bro, wake the fuck up, people. What's wrong with people? It's like,
that's true.
You shouldn't be having that with so much information out there. Like, you're really gonna just be in the hamster wheel going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know, because at the end of the day, it's about evolving and progressing. And it's like, bro, like there's too much information out there to realize what steps you could be taking to really elevate your shit. Like, just put the effort. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, man. Nowadays it's so easy to follow someone, like almost piggyback over someone, but also take your own direction.
That's what I'm saying. Like, go ahead. No, continue, please.
Yeah, because if you just keep piggybacking, like, someone's already years ahead of you if you're gonna follow that project. So the time you hit that project after piggybacking, that project is nothing. Yeah, it's cool, but it's not. It just isn't gonna be relevant then. That's it. It's not gonna be relevant.
I mean, you'd be lying. Anyone new in this game would be lying saying if you didn't piggyback off anybody, because that's bullshit. We're all piggybacking off somebody in a way, because that's how we're seeing what we like, and we go, okay, but then it's up to us to do the twist.
Yep, exactly.
We put our fucking brand onto it somehow. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: a lot of people go, "Well, I want to shoot for Pompeys." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, by the time you hit those, what are they going to be at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like, by the time you really start hitting that in a snake, bro, who knows where the project's going to be at that point? You know what I'm saying? So
that's what it is. Do you still hear me good?
Yeah, you're good. Can you hear me okay?
I just had to charge my phone. It's a constant, always dying.
You're good. Everything sounds good. You're fine. So let's kind of talk about investment moves that you've made. What year was it when you really like fucking either had some clutches that you made some money off of, but you just really started putting stuff into what you have going on right now?
Okay, so when I first started, I was just buying what I can afford. So it'd be like a Mojave to a spider. So like maybe like $500, raised them up as hatchlings. Didn't make anything. I kept back every female. Probably sold spiders like $100. Mojave's like $100. My real investment was 2 animals. It was an Orange Dream, which I spent $2,000 for, male, and it was a Banana Sterling that I spent also $2,000 or $1,500 for. So this was my investment that I really thought was gonna push me to some different level. And when that Orange Dream produced me babies, they were $150 that year. So I spent $2,000, and those babies were $150. So I lost out big time. Yeah, I made my money back, but it took probably 2 seasons. The Banana Sterling was a slow feed up, and he probably took 2 years to breed. So I again made my money back, but not as quick as I would like to. Especially this is an investment, so you want to see your investments make you money, and that didn't work out. So just seeing what Justin and everyone's doing, like we mentioned before about the piggybacking, like what's working for them. So I figured out, hey, it's the recessive game. Everyone's hopping on that trend. And then I think I spent 10 grand with Bob Vu and Justin on a pair of Dreamsicles, a pastel yellow belly OD Parge female,
Nice,
2 female DG pastel Enchies. So I spent 10 grand on that, raised them up. The Dreamsicles bred this year, so maybe a year and a half, and I think it was probably 15 grand. 15 grand of hatchlings just off that one. So yeah.
I gotta say, man, I just kind of remember going to shows and just kind of hearing certain vendors making some good coin. You know what I'm saying? But I had one guy, I forgot who it was. I think he sold like a 6K snake, and I was like, "Do you just made $6,000?" He's like, "No, I didn't." He's like, that's like the second 6K snake I sold in like 3 months, and I paid for all these rats, I paid for all this shit, and I'm like, damn, he's so right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like people don't understand, like that's a lot of money up front, but how much money that is continuously invested should never make you feel like, oh, well, I'm up. You know what I'm saying? No. I mean, if you're doing things right, you're up in a sense where you're still investing in yourself, but it's kind of nothing after a while, man. Like, man, who did I just have on, or who did I talk to? How I will never forget purchasing my first snake, like my first pied ball python, which my fucking wife helped me out, my girlfriend at the time. It was like $400, and I remember I was like, I can't afford it, and she's like, I'll help you. I was like, get it, and I was like, what, really? And I couldn't believe I was gonna spend $400 on this fucking snake. Like I couldn't. But I was like, dude, this has to like be I was like, I mean, this has to lead to something. But this is also when I thought you could put whatever snakes together and that's what you're going to get. I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? So, but regardless, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And that was a snake to make me turn my Instagram from private to unprivate. And I started becoming a snake guy, and that was all it, bro. So, but now, bro, I mean, like I said, I can never tell numbers on this because she listens. But I'm not any number that I spend, bro. I'm scared. Like you just spend money like a motherfucker after a while. And it's just like, man, it is wild how quick things can go. That's all I got to say.
It's true, man. Because after spending that 10 grand, I'm like, okay, I got to back off. I can't do it anymore. I can't keep spending money like that. And I think that was probably 40 grand ago. And then I wound up buying sunsets and more DG stuff and puzzle stuff. So I wound up I was like, fuck it, I'm all in. I don't want to work a real job. I want to do this full time. Right, so I'm just banking on myself, honestly.
So I mean, because now that you bring that up, what's the game plan, Lenny? I mean, because we're gonna start talking about your world's first that you're just now producing, but. Do you have something in your head where like I need to keep, or I'm hoping that I keep this momentum up so I could say fuck the 9-to-5, or you just keep the 9-to-5 just because it's just that easy of a gig for you? Like, what's the deal with the 9-to-5 at the end of the day?
The gig is super easy. Fucking honestly, a monkey could do it. No disrespect to a monkey, but the monkey could do it. Super easy. But. Nah, man, I don't want to work for anyone. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't like I have like my manager or supervisor that call me throughout the day. They don't hear my voice until probably that Thursday, and that's it. I don't pick up. I don't talk to nobody. I just do my own thing.
That's sick.
when they got rid of the wildlife division and they were like, "Hey, you're gonna do commercial pest control," I said, "Hey, just fire me. Let me click on deployment for 6 months and let me go on with my life." They're like, "No, we got to put you somewhere." I'm like. I'm gonna be miserable, and you're gonna be upset with that. But if you want to keep me here, and that's what they did. So I just go with the motions. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's the thing, man. There's just some people who just have no control over their 9-to-5. Their 9-to-5 controls them. They literally invest so much and work on, like here's the thing, man. What made me try to believe into the corporate American life is because I was in sales. I always wrote my own check. The harder I sold, the more money I made until I got into management. And that's when I said, what the fuck is this? And then my check was relied on my other employees' performances, and that didn't work out well. And so I was like, wait a minute. So the more you move up, the more not only responsibility you have, but now money is depending on people you influence. And at that time, I wasn't influencing anybody. I don't give a fuck. Like, I just don't care. And made me learn a lot about myself. But some people just are like, they hate their job. They know they hate their job, but they've been doing it for years. They don't know how to quit. They're so scared to quit. One of the biggest things I hear why people don't quit their job, and I feel like, I sympathize with them on this one, is because they have really good health benefits. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have kids, and I could see how that could be like fucking scary to do. You know what I'm saying? But I think at the end of the day, bro, like there's people out there who don't realize if they just go full time into their fucking projects, how much more they'll even go, and insurance won't be fucking shit. Like you could pay for it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a scary thing. It's all about personality, bro. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, pretty much, man. I'm just trying to stack, buy as many animals as possible. Probably in the next couple months, either build a rat shack or some type of shed building in the backyard, or maybe buy a different piece of property and just build something over there and just breed rats, and try to have that just take care of the whole collection.
So you breed your own rats?
Yeah.
How much? And you just breed for your own collection, or do you sell to people in your area?
Just your own collection. Even if I was killing it, man, like I would be so greedy where I would just want to make sure my animal's always taken care of. I wouldn't care about really selling it to the public,
Right. Well, okay. I want to talk about some of the things that a lot of people who've been in this game, especially the ones who aren't really growing and evolving, they hate it when people say they're making worlds first. They can't stand it. I want to talk about some of the projects that you are posting. One in particular, which is basically the one of the thumbnail. I got to say, it's a very nice looking snake. What's the combo in this clown right here?
So that's a pastel cinnamon chocolate clown.
God damn, I love chocolate.
Yeah. That's the reason why I went with that project. I love chocolate, and I like the way the cinnamon works with it.
Because I will say, I don't mean to cut you off, but cinnamon is dicey in clown. Not too many things make cinnamon look good in clown. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
You got to understand that cinnamon could, especially pastel and cinnamon, that's not the fucking move. You know what I mean?
It is not the move, but unfortunately, having the females that I have, like for years, like back in the day, still working with them,
right?
Either what I'm using with, what I'm trying to do with them,
right?
And there was spot nose involved, and I was trying to hit that cinnamon chocolate spot nose clown, which I think recently sold for like $20,000.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Damn.
So. And I would probably keep it back anyway, so I probably wouldn't even make money off it anyway. Because I just like keeping shit.
That's the way to go. I mean, if we want to talk about how much I was fucking jocking Will Morrows just now, he's a fucking king hoarder. That's what he does. He just holds back shit. He's been doing it for a while. Like, that's what you got to do. But to go back to my point about codoms, relevant codoms, chocolate. Talk about a fucking relevant codom. Man, super chocolates in anything. Look at a super chocolate clown. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm telling you, man, this is impressive.
It's crazy to think that like a $100, $150 animal, and then you edit with clown could be like a $2,000 animal. So it's crazy. Even think a chocolate pewter would probably be what, $350, but you add clown, that could be like those are probably $4,000, $3,500 each. Plus the world first, so whatever price tag I really want to put on it, if I wanted to, I could. But realistically, the animals are the animals. There's not like a new gene in there, so
right.
It's easy to be reproduced. And I'm sure this combo been reproduced and probably not shown off, or just reproduced with other genes.
So basically, because I feel like there's like, I guess you could say levels to world's first. I mean, because like you said, like there's world's first combos made, right? Like basically that's what we're talking about here. This is the first time this combo has ever been made into this snake, right? Right?
Yeah, that I've seen, because when I hashed it out, I went on Morph Market, I typed it in, and I couldn't find a picture of it at all. And I'm like, hey, this is probably what this combo would look like, because no one's seen the combo before. I never knew what it was. When I hatched out, me and Jeremy were looking at it like, hey, this is really weird. It can't be a pewter. it can't just be a pastel chocolate because we hit one in the clutch. This
Right.
has to be the old. And then we were like, yeah, this is it, you know. And then I hit a different clutch. I hit the second one, and I'm like, this animal looks really weird. I'm like, I think I've seen this before, but I don't know where I've seen it. Idiot me, I have the other one. That's why I've seen it before. That's
Right.
how I know. Yeah, so yeah, I wanted with two of them from two different clutches.
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like respect to that because if it's never been made before, it's never been made before, and that's just what it is. I think what I'm happy to see is how pastel cinnamon can stay relevant in clown, and that's because of chocolate. So respect to that. That makes me happy, because as much as I try to stay away from pewter clown, I still have that in my collection, so I could still hit it. But I'm recently adding chocolate this year to my shit, so it's like. That makes me happy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if that was black pastel chocolate clown with pastel, that would be I think it would just be so much better. I'm happy the way it turned out. As of right now, it looks good. Let's see how it looks in months. I know pewter clowns kind of look like a little, honestly, look like doo-doo. But we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully nice.
Let's talk about when you should sell your worlds first, or let's just say your number one fucking sickest snake of the year, when you shouldn't sell. When do you feel like it's necessary to say, fuck it, I need to sell this snake? Or when do you feel like you should not sell and be like, dog, chill?
So I produced two other worlds first before this one. So I produced the first one I remember I called the Toxin. So the Toxin was a super pastel cinnamon fire leopard. That's on World of Ball Pythons. So I raised it up, bred it a few times, and I think I sold it for like $1,000 as an adult. At the time, I was offered $2,500, and I should have took it, but it was my first animal I ever produced that was world's first. So I held on to it. So I could have, easy cash out, make the money. But, I am proud of what I do. So I just don't just look at the money. I am really proud. Like, the reward is the animal, in my opinion, not the money, So keeping something like that back could have really pushed my projects forward. But at the time, it was all about stacking codons. So I wasn't worried about trying to get a clown or a part or anything. I was trying to be like, hey, if I just stack more G's on top of this, I can make more money. And at the end of the day, that never turned out that way.
So let's kind of talk about how you really look at your your holdbacks now. Like, what's your holdback game all about now? When it comes to you coming with the clutch and you looking at things, like, are you still in fucking just horde mode, or are you like, all right, now I just got to be picky, selective, and whatnot?
So last year I produced about 30 clutches, and this year with about 19 clutches. I selectively bred more this year because I didn't want to hold back or somewhat sell or keep not animals I really were interested in keeping back. So I just selected the animals and pairings that I wanted to keep back. So pretty much I'm just going the same route that everyone else is going, triples and quad and double recessives. So last year I held back a lot of clown female stuff, some pard stuff last year. This year held back double head DG pards. I have a clutch and incubator right now of double head DG clowns, and I have another clutch and incubator from Hypo Clown to Genetic Stripe. So that's triple heads. So just pretty much try to hold back just as many triple heads, double heads, quad heads, whatever I get my hands on, and keep doing that. For the last 2 years, I've been doing that really heavily. So when you look at my collection of holdbacks, there's a lot of normals or spot nulls, like very like one or two codons, but double or triple or quad head for something. So it's not appealing, but it's gonna be really powerful down the road. So it was easy, like, because I had my cousin come over this weekend, and she wanted to show her boyfriend a couple of snakes, and I was actually doing the show, so only my girlfriend was home. And I told them, like, I want nobody touching the animals, because now if you pull out a normal ball on a quad head or triple head, I don't know what that animal is if you swap it with something else.
Right.
So now, nobody goes in the snake room without me now. So yeah.
Shit, it's kind of like dangerous, not in a sense because it's venomous. It's because you're gonna fucking kill this project.
And I remember, like, Brian back in the day, BHB, he would paint marker the back of, like, colubrids, so you could just pick out the male and put the male back instead of just sexing the male and the females when he breeding them. I'm thinking about actually just marking my heads so I just don't fuck up at all, and just, like, put a little dot, like a pink, a blue, something dot that I just know hey, this is this. You know, I was really paranoid. Just fucking up one day and just fucking like, damn, what is this animal? I fucked up. So, you know, even though they're labeled twice on the tubs and, you know, one animal comes out at a time, still the paranoia is like, fuck, I don't want to mess up on, you know, what these are.
Yeah. I mean, it's very important. I feel like, now I feel like with anybody out there, Lenny, who's kind of been in this game for like the last few years, and hasn't really grasped a direction, especially because maybe they've been believing in the codom stack, like stack codoms. What's a good, or what's a recommendation for you to have for anyone out there to just kind of like not start over, but like how do they figure out what they should be doing? Like, you know, anyone lost out there.
That's a great question. So I'm actually mentoring someone right now. His name's Dylan, Burke Serpents or Burke Serps. Great. They remind me a lot. Him and his girlfriend remind me a lot of me and my girlfriend when we first started. Really hungry, excited, happy to be doing this, to be in the hobby, be in the community. So what I'm trying to explain to him is that the more money you spend, you're pretty much buying time. So instead of just buying heads, if you buy the visuals, you're buying time. So the more money you spend, you're pretty much saving a year or 2 years. So every dollar you spend. So we did 2 shows together, and every dollar he made, it helped me out. But he bought a dream male for me, and he wound up buying a dream female for me at the show. So I did good, but it helped him out because he wanted to just keep the dream male and then breed it to lavenders and then breed it to a pod and hold those back, which is not a bad way of doing it. But he knew in his head, I'm right. You're buying time. If you get the female and you raise that female up, now you have a pair of dreams. If you want to pair them together, you can. But if you want to put a hypo clown to a dream, now you're making quads. So you have a powerful female. So I'm just trying to explain to him, saying, hey, man, don't be scared to spend money. I know it sucks. I know the economy could be shitty. I know things could be hard, but spend the money. I feel like that's, ever since I spent the money, I felt more happier. As scary as that sounds, the more money I spent, the happier I was. Yes, I just think spend money and, you know, don't buy what you can afford. Save up for what you want, you know.
I mean, like you can't waste money. That's for sure.
Exactly.
But you have to know when to put money into shit that really matters to you, you know? And when you do, that's putting energy in the air. Like it's like almost good karma for your business or for whatever it is that you do. You just got to fucking put some good juju towards your fucking business. And a lot of people are so scared to do that, man. But I'm not going to say it's not easy either, bro. Cause I'm somebody who hates this. Like I love spending money, but when it comes to like investment shit where I'm like, what am I getting out of this? Cause that's just like me thinking off the bat. No, it's about what you feel like is going to be right to help you grow. And that's what you need to go with. And I'm telling you, man, any money I've invested, I've never been mad at, bro. I'm telling you, bro, it's always come back the way I was like, holy shit, like this was great. You know what I'm saying? And that all came from experience, of course. I'm a huge fucking victim of being, not a victim, my own victim of wasting money, bro. Like I could just shit on money if you let me. You know what I'm saying? But I learned.
Yeah, we're all guilty about wasting money.
I'm bad, bro. Like, holy shit. Like, it's, you know what I mean? But luckily, I found the addiction I love to where all this money I've constantly been putting me back into is now shit laying on eggs. It's all like, you know what I mean? And I didn't make shit for fucking 4 years. Are you kidding me? Like, there's people, that's why like it irritates me when, you know, here's the thing. I love people, even my own Patreon members. I love the support I get, but when they try to have this energy where they want to move so quick, man, like it's just a matter of time where I'm gonna have that talk with you that you need to slow the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially when you're like, oh, I need to make money and shit like that. Like, and you've only been in this game for a year. And it's like, bro, you shouldn't be even thinking of any of that shit. Like, oh, I can't wait. It's like, dude, you don't even. It's just like it's so new to everything. Like that, you shouldn't be expecting to make shit for the first few years. I feel like.
Even like my buddy Dylan, I just mentioned. You know, he's been, you know, in the reptile world for about 2 years, and when he does shows, he expects like $1,000 or $1,500. And I told him, say, hey, buddy, my first 2 years of doing shows, I didn't make $1, not a single dollar for 2 years doing shows, not a dollar, nothing. I lost money every time. I lost so much money doing it. I would bring groups of animals that I hoarded for 2 years because I would keep them for the shows, and I would wholesale them all off because now they're adults. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep bringing adults. And then that's how I started over and be like, hey, I'm doing something apparently wrong here. So yeah.
I got a question for you as far as how you're managing keeping your collection clean, you know, especially this year, motherfuckers with Nido scares and all this other shit where like you've been around, you understand how like there's illnesses and everything no matter what, you know what I'm saying? So how have you dealt with sick animals before, and how are you dealing keeping your collection clean nowadays?
So thankfully I dealt with the first ball python that started demonic reptile and started me breeding actually went up with an abscess tooth infection, so a face swelled up. This was like 10 years ago, and that was the only time I, knock on wood, I ever brought a reptile to the vet. So I haven't had to bring a reptile to the vet over 10 years, and it was a little bit, I think Baytril is what helped knock the abscess tooth, or I forgot what it was that just helped with the abscess tooth. And yeah, so now I don't put nothing on chip. I just keep everything on paper now. I keep everything on paper. I just want to keep an eye on everything. I just want to keep an eye on everything. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm not overlooking anything. Yes, the pain is cleaning 2 times, 3 times a week, but now I know what's going on, you know.
I've had my, you know, I have a group of beta lizards, you know what I mean? And I've had them on cocoa chip, and I think about just put them on paper too, just because, like, you know, I don't know, when like with animals that shit that constant too, you don't always catch that shit in the fucking cocoa chip, you know what I mean? And you know, I could tell you right now, betas, you want to be clean, you know, not overly sterile, but you definitely want to, you know, not have just shit in their enclosure for too long. So I don't know, man. Paper, my biggest thing why I've always gone paper. Never obviously for the looks. I mean, obviously I love it. I've gone back and forth to when I put cocoa and everything, I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. You know, I think it is awesome, but it's huh?
It smells good, it looks good, but
yeah.
You know,
but then eventually it becomes a problem. It always, for me personally, it always becomes a problem. So I was like, well, I'm going to stick to what works best for me. And that's paper, because I can ID everything. I could see everything on paper. And I'm home enough, obviously, to where, you know, paper, obviously you got to change a lot. A lot of people who want to just fucking do their weekly rack cleaned and say, all right, I'll see my snake in 5 days. That's why they like cocoa chip. You know what I'm saying? They could just fucking let them be and then do their weekly spot cleans, which nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But I'm just more, I like to see my animals at least 2-3 times a week. That's just how I am.
And I noticed that 2-3 times I'm cleaning a week the same animal, you know,
Right.
from using. But just think about how it would look on cocoa if it wasn't, you know, paper. You know, if it was paper. So letting it, just seeing that you can't see the pee or the poops in the corner, it blends in with the cocoa. You don't know what's really going on. And God forbid you have mites, man. It's gonna take a while before you really can control it with all that cocoa, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, some people have that shit down, and that's fine. It just never worked, and I didn't give a fuck what anyone said. I always just stuck to what worked for me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people care about how people look at how they're doing things, and they'll even do things that just don't work for them, but they just don't care. They just want to look cool. And it's like, dude, you need to fucking figure shit out that works for you, because there's so many different avenues you can take when it comes to anything in this game, you know. But you got to figure out what your rhythm is and what works for you. And one thing that also, I'm just like, dude, especially if you live in an area where you don't need to use it, heat tape. I fucking hate heat tape. Like, bro, obviously there's a time and place where you got to utilize it, but not all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, no, not everything needs heat tape all the time. Chill on the heat tape. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially summertime and all that shit. You know, if it's constantly 77 to 84 in your area, why the fuck do you have an 88 hotspot? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, turn it down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only saying this to prevent any fires or fucking high electricity bills like me.
It's true. You know, when it gets really hot, I'll knock my thermostats down a couple of degrees too. So there's no need for it. You know, you see animals just like hugging the cool spot, and like, hey, apparently it's really hot back there. So you know, I don't want any issues. You know, so yeah, I'll be knocking that stuff down. You know, I have heaters downstairs. I actually have air conditioning downstairs. If I had to put the air on, you know, cool stuff down, I could. So yeah.
Let's get touchy real quick. Not like that, but I'm just saying let's get into a topic where I feel like it's not a lot of people talk about this, and I want to fucking I'm gonna go in right now because You know, I keep it real, bro. I used to be very cocky as far as like, oh, ball pythons are fucking easy. And they are easy to get going, but I want to talk about birth defects. Certain things that ball pythons come out with where it's like, whoa, like, you know, there's that duckbill birth defect. There's a shark fucking, you know, so there's certain things like snakes with a smaller eye and a bigger eye. But what I experienced recently, Lenny, in my super fucking GHI clutch, what I was super stoked about, I have 3 super GHIs that came out with like a film over their eye, like a yellowish, nasty film over their eye. And I remember giving him, I gave him a betadine soak. I even got Q-tip and I gently got that fucking shit off. The next day it came right back. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I went straight to Kabelka. I was like, Kabelka, can you please, like, what is this? And he's like, oh yeah, man, sorry. That happens to me like once a year. And I'm like, how come nobody's ever fucking talked about this shit? And I want to know, first off, do you know what I'm talking about? Has anyone even out there had that kind of eye film thing? And even after the first shed, it's still there. And I even had one where like the pupil's like coming out. It's like out. It's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But other than that, the animal's crispy. It looks beautiful. But the eyes. So, do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever dealt with that?
I personally never dealt with that, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I know Nerd recently, maybe not recently, but I know they posted a video about something with I think it was a ball python, something, or a boa with the same thing with the eye cap. I mean, with the it's like a bubble above the eye, right? Like on the eye. And I don't know if you need to drain it or how they even go about it, but yeah. Thankfully I never dealt with that. You know, the most I've ever dealt with was a couple of kinking, and actually had one ball python born with the organs and everything outside their body. I was able to actually push that all back in, and it healed up, and that snake is still living today.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing too, like, because everything I do is strategic. Like I'm lucky to live where I live, especially because I don't own it, but I can't expand anything, you know, so I have to be very smart with obviously what I hold back and whatnot. And I'm just like not in any position to have like a misfit collection, you know what I mean? But it's also like you got to have a game plan for this too, you know. So I definitely tapped in with Justin and asked what his suggestion was, because, you know, nothing against, it's not like I'm trying to hide this, but I don't want to advertise that this snake, like, first off, this is a pet strictly, like, you know what I mean? I would want to only sell this as a pet to somebody who'd want it, but I wouldn't want to sell it to a breeder just because I don't want them fucking be like, hey, I got this from MJ. Look at this snake with the eyes. Like, no, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Like, obviously things happen. It's Mother Nature, but I don't know. Not a lot of people talk about the birth defects, you know, and what are people really doing? Like, do people have time to go look for pet people? No. So are they just culling them? Are they just putting them in the freezer? Maybe. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's talked about enough, for sure. 100%.
It's definitely not talked about enough. Thankfully, all these years, I never really had issues like that. But again, at the end of the day, like you're saying, like, what can you really do besides like pop them in the freezer or look for a good home? You know, and I'm not saying pop any kink snake in the freezer. You know, you can have I've seen a lot of jacked up animals still living. You know, just they don't grow as fast, and they're definitely not going to be able to breed for you. But they're still, you know, still alive. You know, you got to give everything a chance. I give everything a chance. I don't care how they look, how they come out. Unless they're, you know, just kinked up that bad. But I give everything a chance. You know, I treat everything, if it's the $50,000 animal or, you know, an animal that would never leave my house because they can't leave my house. Everything gets treated the same.
I had an epic, like, fucking, I don't want to say it was an hour. I want to say like probably like a cool 40 minutes. But at the Las Vegas Super Show, I walked up to a table. I'm not going to say the name. But I walked up to a table to this person who I've been trying to get on the show for such a long time. I respect their work so much. But, you know, we were just kind of talking about some of the big topics I've been having. And you know, I asked her about night. Said her. Yeah. Damn it. Anyways, I asked about Nido and whatnot. And like, you know, what do you do when you see a snake that's sick? Like, you know, and she says like, well, people hate this shit. But if I see a snake with RI or anything that's repetitive, she just puts it down. Like immediately. And we're going to be talking about chondros here. You can't fuck around with shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And not only with that, okay, because I understand how serious that RI shit, especially if it's something that doesn't go away. there's something wrong with that snake for sure.
Yeah.
Chondros, you don't want that floating around, right? So I understand that position, but I also feel like that's the same case with ball pythons, bro. Like I've had a breeder on here that said the same male breeder gets RI every year, and it's like it's just a common thing, and but it's like that shouldn't be the thing though. Like, you know what I'm saying? And my concern is like isn't that probably a bad way to like get a fucked up thing going in your collection and other people's? I don't know. It just made me think.
To me, it seems like that is a case in Nido, because it seems like if it's breeding, it's stressing out, and the Nido is being activated, and I feel like that's what's probably happening with that male. But I had the same talks with a lot of friends about what to do with Nido. I'm personally, if the animal proves out positive for Nido, I'm not killing it. This snake's going upstairs or to my parents' house. I'm not killing anything because it's positive. If it's drooling from the mouth and it can't, the medicine's not helping it, yeah, I'm gonna put it down. I'm not gonna let it struggle, but I'm not killing anything. I'm not gonna breed it or use it, but I'm not trying to kill an animal that is tested positive for something that shows no signs of something.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill anything, man.
I don't either, man. But the thing is, I know I keep certain things where if I see a sign of something, like for instance, God, I don't even want to say this, it's terrible, but if one of my emeralds regurges, it's over. It's over, bro. It's over. That's it.
Yeah.
I may find somebody, maybe like, hey, is there somebody out there who I'm really trusting that has no emeralds, no pets, but wants this snake that might throw up on you? No, who the fuck wants that? Nobody does. You know what I mean? And this is why, it's scary to say, but everything in this room is so, I don't even want to say this because it might bite me in the fucking ass, but everything in this room I've had, other than the Miss Willies and which I just got this year, is so just thrived and fucking just dialed in. I don't add anything else that has not been quarantined for at least 6 months to 7 months. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to have a good protocol. If you have a good protocol, you have nothing to worry about. Just fucking be strict about what comes into your fucking collection.
That's what it meant. Like when people always ask me, who do I buy from? And people I buy from is probably about 5 people. I don't spread my horizon. When I go to a reptile show, I respect everyone at a show, depending on how their animals look, but I just won't buy from anybody. I make sure, I don't care how good the deal is. I don't care if they're getting it for free. I like to buy. I like to know where those animals are coming from firsthand. So if something's wrong with that animal, I like to let them know, saying, hey, man, like, you have an issue. But thankfully, the 5, probably 6 people I buy from never had an issue with. I keep my animals I buy to a small circle of people.
That's how you got to do it. I've always, before I even knew about, like, shit that could fuck up I always knew about mites, right? But before I knew about other stuff, I always only wanted to buy from certain people. That's how I always want to do it. I always thought that was smart, because if you keep trying to buy from everyone, eventually something bad's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be strategic. You got to know who you're buying from, when to buy it, and all that stuff. And obviously whoever you're buying from should basically helping you out. Like, one thing I love about Miguel, wherever the fuck he's at, call me, please. Jesus. No, seriously, call me. I need to talk to you. But like, every time I bought something, he told me what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I should take a page out of his book because I don't do that. I'm like, go figure it out, motherfucker. But like he would, like, because I was kind of like also like, Miguel was one of those good friends that really connected a lot of dots for me just because he wanted to help me grow. And I'm lucky for that. But there's a lot of other people out there who do that for people. You know what I mean? Like you're mentoring somebody right now. You're helping somebody right now get to that next level. The homie Dylan. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. So there's so many things that you can do and invest in, but you should invest the person you're buying from and having them mentor you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's somebody you're always going back to. Like, if you're spending money with them, speak up, dude. Ask, maybe because, not everyone's like Miguel where they'll just tell you what to do. Like, you have to ask them. You know what I'm saying? So
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Check it out. I have a wrap-up question for you before we get into some hot seat questions. Okay. For anyone out there who's probably in a position where, oh man, this might ruffle feathers, but whoever's like, of course, have friends that are doing big things. They see other people doing big things, but they have what they have in their collection. Yellow belly, everything. But like, you know, they want support in a way where, like, you know, some people really feel like they should start a GoFundMe. Is that a smart move? Like, do you really feel like especially having somebody with no foundation to begin with, and you want people to give you money to get this foundation where you don't even know if you're fit for it yet? You know what I'm saying? But
where I come from, man,
first off, Lenny, don't you think that's wild? Like, you coming from where you came from to see people out there with GoFundMes to get snakes, that right, and whoever supports that, like, what?
See, where I come from, if I beg for anything, I'll get an ass whooping. So I don't beg for shit, you know.
Right.
People begging for something, I just don't understand it. If you can't afford it, just do something else, you know. Just, you know, you could be part of this community without buying an animal. You can still be part of the community. You can still hang out, come to shows, donate to US Hawk, just hang out with people. You don't need to fit, you know, I guess fit into the ball python market or whatever you're trying to GoFundMe for. You know, just have a good time with the community. You know, I don't know what people are having GoFundMe for. Just make no sense to me. Begging for anything, I don't get it.
Because it all came down to, I feel like, one person doing it, and then now I hear other people suggesting it now, and I'm like, what? Like, and then, like, even the whole, like, well, he's going to give 10% back, and what? Like, this is like, aren't we trying to avoid the scam thing? Like, don't we want to go the opposite direction? Especially because of one person who probably looks up to this one guy is like, okay, probably, you know, like, fuck, he has 2,000 followers. That's respectful. I have 50 and I need to get up there. It's like, God damn, dude. Like, oh my God, you know, and like, it's hard for me because, like, literally I heard that at the Reptile show, bro. Somebody told me that was their idea. And I was so busy setting up my podcast, I didn't have time to be like, yo, what the fuck are you thinking? You know, like, I was just like,
nah, I don't see the point. Like, I see the point of, you know, begging someone for money, I guess, you know, without working or, you know, putting time into doing anything for free money. Yeah, I get it. But I don't understand. Like, you're gonna get looked at really weird, and no one's gonna respect you for doing that, in my opinion. You know.
I mean, and then also, how do you not know where you might be in the next 2 years? Like, bro, I started just like you said. I had 4 snakes in a fucking aquarium tank, glass tank. Okay, I had them stacked in my closet, and then I got put on game about a snake rack, and I thought getting a snake rack off Craigslist was one of the biggest moves I've ever made in any animal game. I thought it was the coolest thing. I just loved hearing the tub slide, bro. Like, I'll never forget just hearing the like the slide of the PVC. I thought, I was like, holy shit, like, now I have a rack. I was just so appreciative, like, the little steps that we're making. I feel like if people just calm the fuck down and just appreciate the little steps that they're making, dude. Like, Lenny, am I wrong? Am I right? Are you about to have the biggest year in the fucking game so far? Like, if for yourself, like, what's going? Because it feels like you're making the most sickest shit you've ever made before this year. Am I wrong or right?
It's definitely been the best shit. You know, it's definitely, I'm going in the right direction. You know,
but it's like just starting though. It's not only the best shit, but it's just now beginning after all this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I mentioned earlier, like, last year I had about 30 clutches, and then this year I did about 16 or 19. Only because I didn't want to produce just a 3-gene male to a pastel. I kind of cut all my low-end stuff and push it to the side, and you know, they're gonna be put up for sale soon. Because I just want to produce the shit I want to produce. I didn't want to produce animals just for the fuck of it. I want to produce stuff that are building blocks for the future. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like what's amazing of this year being one of your biggest years, it's all building blocks still. Like, it's all constant building blocks. But also, too, for people out there who are just dying to get their first clutch, dude, don't worry, it's coming. And when it comes, it just keeps coming. And it's like, you know, it's just going to happen. You know what I mean? I just feel like this is one thing where if you try to rush things, you're going to learn something the hard way, and you don't want to learn things the hard way. You know what I mean? And that goes with anything. Rushing your collection, rushing how you have your setups, not knowing how to use thermostats properly, and now you have 20 thermostats for all these racks, and you've been barely doing shit for a fucking month. Like, no, dude, like, chill out. You know what I mean? This is how I feel.
Yeah, and I feel like people should really be asking questions. You know, just don't jump into it because you see someone doing something. You know, if you don't know how something works, ask somebody, because you don't want to get a dirt and not put the probe on the heat tape and kill animals. Like, Just X. Just ask people questions.
Yeah, bro. 'Cause closed mouths don't get fed.
Nope, not at all, man.
Literally, your ball python that don't want to eat, don't open its mouth, it ain't getting fed. That's just the end of the day. 1,000-gram wall. I'm just kidding. Hey, bro, I appreciate this. Crazy that you live with Jeremy. I mean, what a fucking trip. Where's he at? Is he in a room? What's he doing? Is he studying?
He's in in Georgia. He's in Georgia right now.
Oh, he's in Georgia. Okay, cool. I'll be tapping in with. You're gonna be going to Pomona, right? Or not Pomona, Tinley, right? Obviously.
50-50 right now. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Okay. All right. We'll keep you posted. All right. Well, listen, we got hot seat questions before you exit. All right. Don't take your time. Quickest answer, most player. You feel me?
All right.
Hot seat questions for the homie Lenny Cristino. Ready, Lenny?
Do it, man.
A cut or no cut?
Cut.
On what day?
55.
Frozen thought or live?
Live.
When it comes to feeding a ball python a first meal, are we going mice or rats?
Mice. Mice if I'm selling it. Rats if I'm keeping.
Well, that's fucked up. Hold on. Time out. Now I'm going to stop this. What? Wouldn't you want to give your customers a ball python that's thriving on rats, though?
So I noticed ball python babies will eat mice better. So 9 out of 10 times when I offer a rat, then even the holdbacks, they're not eating it. Everything will start off on mice.
You're saying that's a safe bet for consistent eating. So you're saying that you rather do that way because at the end of the day, it will turn at a given point, but it's better to turn on their collection versus here.
Yeah, I'd rather give you a snake that's eating. Yeah.
That makes sense. Favorite arboreal snake?
Green tree python.
Red chondroneo or yellow chondroneo?
Red.
Pre-fur shed meal or post-fur shed meal?
Me pre.
Wow. Yay imports or boo imports?
Yay.
To spray a ball python or to not spray a ball python?
Spray.
Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay sports.
Favorite sport?
Baseball.
Good, because if you would have said fucking football, we would have had a problem. Fuck the Chiefs. The Chiefs suck. I'm just kidding. I don't hate the Chiefs as bad as the Broncos or the Chargers. I will say that they're come to rivalry. The Chiefs, even though Chiefs used to be the ones I didn't like the most, just because you guys used to beat the shit out of us back in the day, bro. Like Chiefs used to ruin our playoff chances all the time. Like Chiefs, I hated playing the Chiefs. I used to hate it. Anyways, I just had to get that off my chest. Big flexor or no flexor?
Big flexor.
Yes. Let's keep it 100, please. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
Bitcoin or Bitnot?
Bitnot.
All right, little word. Wait, hold on. West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
East Coast.
Favorite East Coast rapper of all time?
Big L.
Nice. Dude, rest in peace. Love it. Little word association. First thing to come to mind, mites.
Spray.
First time ball python keeper.
Noob.
Egg box.
Incubator.
FedEx shipping.
Yay.
Stuck shed.
Fuck.
Instagram trolls.
Fuck.
If you had to get rid of one codom out of the ball python game forever, and I mean forever, what codom would that be?
Spider.
Woo! Get the fuck out! I'm just kidding. Lenny, you killed that shit, man. Hour and 20 went by really quick. I gotta say thank you so much. We had up to 90 people at one point watching this. What do you have to say to anyone who fucking really is supporting you and really wants to watch you win in this?
Hey, I appreciate it, man. If anyone's starting out breeding snakes, and just do it, guys. Have fun with it. If you guys are doing shows or want to do shows, just open your mouth, talk to people, be part of the community, and just have fun with it. It's all about having fun.
Well, Lenny, I'm looking forward to running into you at one show. I know at some point I'm going to run into you because I go to all the fucking shows. And let me know, too, if you ever are going to go to a show. I'd love to know which ones you're going to. And good things fucking to hear. Good to hear you have big things coming your way, Lenny. So just keep at it, bro. And that's a wrap. Lenny, Demonic Reptiles, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night, Lenny.
Here, man. Have a good one.
Peace. Lenny Cristino in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Damn. Respect all the viewers. If you happen to tap into this podcast late, hit that like button. Please don't forget to hit the like button, and then also drop a comment, not in the live chat, but drop a comment. Let me know what you like best. Let me know if you learned anything cool about this episode. Love the feedback. And yes, is everything okay in the live chats? Calvin, you are head of security. Let me know if you're good. Jeez, got a little dicey in there earlier. Appreciate all the super chats. Again, you guys are all awesome. Love you guys. Got a big week ahead of us. You know what I'm saying? We got a big episode. Something I'm very excited to bring to the channel because I feel like I've not had this opportunity to have one-on-one with my boy. Wait, hold on. I got a new one. I made a new thumbnail. Sorry. Let me upload it. Give me a second. But I finally have the opportunity to have my one-on-one with who I feel like is one of the biggest players, biggest future players in this industry. Steven Kush in the building this Thursday night. What is going on over there at RepTech, Cold Blooded Cafe with Steven? What does the future hold for this gentleman? Kid's growing. His collection growing. Scrub Python clutches growing. There's so much happening right now with this guy, with this project. So we're going to catch up with Steven this Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tap in. Coolest Reptile Podcast in the world. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Again, if you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to tap in with all the trappers, if you want to get tapped into the Trap Talk Patreon Discord and meet all the trappers, 120 trappers in the building, then you're going to want to go down to the link below, click on the Patreon link, join the Patreon family, and come fuck with us. As soon as you join the Patreon, I give you that link to the Discord. You could sell stuff, you could buy stuff, you could just learn stuff, all that shit. It's awesome. It's the way of life. It's my trappers. I salute you. And again, this episode was brought to you by my boy, TOFAUTI Royals of Africa. Sorry, I got to practice that name. But anyways, you guys are awesome. Thursday night's going down. Lenny, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Big things popping from my man Lenny at Demonic Reptiles. And I will catch you guys Thursday night. Your boy's out.